Hi everyone, it's been a very productive week, so I'd like to go over everything. I filmed a couple of videos that I was going to post. I never got around to it. So we're going to give you kind of a condensed version. So we're going to go over my potatoes. I talked to you about them before, but I'll show you where they're at now. Keep in mind, from what I'm about to show you, they looked awful at the beginning of the week. But I finally got enough hose. I had to buy about 300 feet of hose to get over here to be able to water. And I just started watering every night until we started getting rainier, wetter weather. I haven't watered in like 2 days, but we should get rain for the next 2 days. So you do have to let the ground dry out between waterings. But if your ground's really dry, you can water a little more often. Potatoes are incredibly thirsty, so you can get away with watering more because they will suck the water out of your soil and dry themselves out a lot quicker than a lot of other plants. Anyways, so they were very small, stubby, not very lush, but look at them now. So these are all my purple potatoes on this side. We'll talk about them in a second. These are purple potatoes here. The first to right here are purple potatoes. And you can see the difference in leaves when you get to here. These are all of my Silverton russets, doing excellent. Now these are my deep bags. These are my red Norlands that I did full depth right out the gate. Now I did leave enough head space that after they bush out in the top, I am going to mound a little more soil. I talked about it taking, an extra 2 to 3 weeks for them to start breaking surface. Here's some of my first, just starting to break surface. So it's a lot more soil it had to go through, but they're doing just fine. Just because they're not fully up doesn't mean that it's a problem. It just means they're deeper, they have more soil to push through. It's a lot harder as it rains and gets wet, it compacts. Even though that soil's been amended with some fertilizer and a lot of peat. And by a lot, I mean probably 10 to 15%. It's enough to help the soil become easier for them to push through and grow tubers in. So anyways, just wanted to give you an update on what that looks like. And also behind me, as you can see, my garden beds are all filled up. I got a layer of sawdust on the top. Mind you, that's just basically like a light version of mulch. It's not anything special. It's just something that's going to slowly break down into the soil and over years will help the dirt become more loamy. Sawdust is going to break down a lot faster than heavy mulch. So I'm going to top this off with chopped up leaves. I'm going to take a bunch of oak leaves that I have. I'm going to chop them up into kind of like a leaf mold. That's going to get topped onto here. I'm going to put my wine cap in that. And then I'm going to start ordering chips from Chip Drop. And I don't know if you can tell, but these were filled literally to the brim just the other day. And they're already 1 to 2 inches below the brim just from settling from the rain we got. They're all like that. So till I top it with leaf mold and then get Chip Drop and start topping on top of that with coarse chip to mulch that to help hold in and retain the moisture of that garden, it's going to settle in to right at level. It's just going to keep settling all year long. And even though I'm going to put a lot of plants in there that's going to displace some soil and help raise it up, there's so much wood under there that's going to keep absorbing, and every rain, more soil is just going to trickle and filter down around and lock in around those logs that much tighter. And it's just going to keep settling. So every year I have to plan on starting off my year by topping off with a little fresh manure, a little fresh mulch, and then hope that my mycelium from my wine caps re-inoculates that new fresh layer. And that's how that garden is going to essentially just perpetually make the soil nicer and better every single year. Every time I amend the top, all those nutrients and that loamy broken down wood matter is just going to work its way down into the top of the soil, making the area that you plant in nicer and nicer every year. So this year it will probably produce okay. Next year it'll probably produce pretty good. By year 3, this garden, people will drive by and they won't be able to believe how big and productive everything's going to be. That's at least the plan.